I miss the internet from the early 2000s. Well, most of it. As a kid who grew up in 2001, I played a lot of online games, whether they were chat room games, flash games, or any other type of game that they got to run on the magic that was the internet when I was a child. And one of the games that I played all the time was Club Penguin. The game launched in 2005 and was created by a company known as New Horizon Interactive. Club Penguin was an online chat room game that had you and a bunch of strangers from around the world logging in to play games, meet new friends, or just waddle around and have fun. Not only was it a fun and safe place to meet new people, but also a great way to just engage in activities and stare at the amazing visual style. Club Penguin was then acquired by Disney in 2007, which allowed it to get more funding and have more love and effort put into it. However, due to the closure of Disney Interactive in 2017, Club Penguin's team had to downsize and inevitably shut down. They tried to pivot to a 3D mobile version of the game called Club Penguin Island, but that shit sucked and no one played it, so it shut down a year later. You know, I've been talking your ear off a lot about this game. Let me show you around. Like I said, you play as a penguin and you waddle around and explore a bunch of areas to do fun activities. You can dance, you can throw snowballs, you can chat with others and say the weirdest shit imaginable, all while enjoying the sweet tunes of the location that you're in. However, there are some locations that don't have any music, and so sometimes you're just standing there like, with the theme of silent games this year. Like I mentioned earlier, you can play mini games around the island, like remixing music from the game, a rhythm-based dance game, which I annihilated, by the way. Taught him everything he knows. Except the ketamine addiction. I don't know where that came from. There's also minecart surfing, pizza making, bean catching, sled racing, ice fishing, and so much more. These mini games earn you coins which you can use to buy clothes and items to use in the overworld. And some of the items also have special animations attached to them as well. You can also buy items for your igloo, which is your virtual home in this game, and deck it out with all your favorite decorations. You can also buy pets named Puffles who are adorable, and I love them so much. I ended up adopting one of my favorite Puffle colors from back in the day and ended up naming him Scruggly, because you can't look at that and tell me that his name is not Scruggly. You can also read the news, mine for coins while desperately using snowballs to keep the power on, or even become a tour guide for the island to help new players get acquainted. And over here is our coffee shop and dance hall. Oh, and over there is the mine where many of us got black lung and died trying to do ollies on a minecart to try and make a livable wage. And over there's our big iceberg. This game also had a weird habit of having like little secrets and weird little like rumors and stuff going on around it like all the time. I don't know if it's because in the time that it was made, like mystery stuff was very popular around that time. I mean, think Gravity Falls or even like Forensic Files or whatever the hell. Anything from weird box dimensions to secret caverns, hidden shop items, the iceberg flipping over, rainbow and golden puffles. There was always something going on in Club Penguin, and it really contributed to how lively the game really was. It contributed very heavily to the atmosphere, and it honestly kept me coming back. There was also stuff that you could do on the island that had a little bit more time and effort that you needed to put into it to do it. And that thing was card jitsu. Ah yes, card jitsu. This is what happens when ninjas get into gambling. It's a competitive card game that relies on having the higher number over your opponent or the element that will take down the opponent's element. Ice freezes water, water extinguishes fire, fire melts ice, that sort of thing. Depending on what card you use to defeat your opponent, you were given that element as a little icon on your side of the board. And the winner was determined by whoever got a certain order of those 3 elemental icons, and that win would contribute towards leveling up in the dojo. This will allow you to earn belts and eventually work your way up to fighting the sensei to gain access to a secret room on the side of the dojo. Let's not forget about the secret task force that was in charge of protecting the island of penguins at all times. I am of course talking about the EPF, the Elite Penguin Force. It was basically Men in Black for Club Penguin, but it felt cool as fuck as a kid. And the main antagonist was a polar bear known as Herbert. Yeah, it's not a very threatening name, is it? The EPF was basically centered around doing different missions and different tasks to contribute towards protecting the island and doing secret agent missions. You also got a phone, which unlocked additional game mechanics like teleportation, so it was a nice little incentive. You could also get exclusive outfits and stuff as well that looked like tactical gear. It was all very fitting, and a nice little addition to the game. But again, contributed to the weird, growing, suspicious mystery activity happening on this island. It's an island. Oh, fuck me. Like I said, this game was packed full of different stuff that you could do. For such a simple online chat game, they really went all out with it. Also, I'm a dragon now. Now, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, Club Penguin is shut down, so how in the world am I even playing this right now? Well, a bunch of dedicated fans have made it their mission to make sure that the game stays open as much as they can. They've created their own servers and their own websites to make sure that the game can stay up and running. There's like 3 different websites now, but I remember a few years ago there used to only be one, and it used to be Club Penguin Rewritten, but I'm pretty sure Disney got that shut down. The best one that I could find so far was New Club Penguin. It seemed to have a lot of the newer stuff that the end game had and still had a lot of stuff incorporated in. It was the least buggy, but also the most laggy. So maybe download the client that they have to play it on your computer instead. But also don't download mysterious shit, so maybe I should stop talking. I've also noticed that it seems very common that a lot of these newer servers are adding in stuff that Club Penguin never had, and they're all custom assets. Unless it was just stuff I never saw before the game ended, but it's new to me. However, a huge perk to these sites is that they removed the memberships. If you didn't have a membership, the game pretty much got cut in half, preventing you from buying or doing much of anything unless you paid money. Which makes sense as to how they made money on a free-to-play website, but I don't know, still sucked. However, thanks to these legacy servers, you can now play it without the restriction of a paywall to your heart's content, which I think is perfect. Though maybe they were onto something because I played it for like an hour and a half before I was like, I'm kind of bored. I obviously can't cover every single thing that Club Penguin had in this video, but I think you're starting to get the idea. From console games that gave you codes that you could redeem on the website for additional stuff, merchandise, books, plushies that you could swap the clothes around for, this game really did have it all. I feel like sites like this are pretty important for kids to kind of learn how to interact with new people, but in a safe environment, while also having fun stuff to do on the side. It gives them something to talk about, whether it's in person or virtually, and allows them to hang out with people without the fear of being, you know, abducted. And I feel like that's really important for kids, especially nowadays, to have those safe spaces where they can go, where they don't have to worry about getting attacked. Not to mention the rules they had in place and the security measures that they had to keep people safe as well. And all this fun, games, and safety was all wrapped up in a nice little art style that just lent to the wit and charm of the game. As I've mentioned, Club Penguin was a huge part of my childhood. Being able to come home and log on to Club Penguin was one of the biggest joys I had in my entire childhood. And I dearly, dearly miss the site. I'm really glad there are fan recreations now, but often they are buggy or laggy, which makes sense given this is a large website game running out of somebody's house rather than a company's server. On the last day of the website, people from around the world gathered to throw one last party to say goodbye to Club Penguin. The people who ran the site even gave everybody free membership for the last day. There were even some people who tried to speedrun getting banned as quickly as possible because, I mean, at that point, it didn't really matter. I remember feeling extremely sad when the site closed. It was like a part of my past was permanently stuck there now, and I had no way to access it anymore. But I will hold on to the memories that I made there and cherish them. On the bright side, the original developers are working on a new type of Club Penguin game called Party Parrot World, which is super cool, and it's an open beta, except I tried to sign up for it, and my email didn't work, and when I tried to contact support, they were helping me, and then they ghosted me. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that, I guess. But anyway, guys, that's all for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Waddle on.